What if I told you that death is not the end, but there is life after loss, even loss of a loved one like Dad? We're jumping into that, our second part of our two-part conversation about what life is like losing Dad and what life is like after Dad. I'm joined by my dear friends Kevin and Katie as we engage in this conversation about what it's like to live after losing a loved one and what faith has to do with it. That's all coming up right here, right now. I'm Sam Chen, and this is Face the Issues. Good evening and welcome to Face the Issues. Death is one of the biggest phobias of Americans, actually anyone worldwide. But what if I told you that there is life after moving on from when we lose a loved one? That death is not final. But what does it look like to live after you lose a loved one, especially when the loved one you lose is a parent and you lose them at a young or one of those really, really integral ages. We're jumping into the second of a two-part conversation with my friends Kevin and Katie. And so let's jump in. Kevin, Katie, welcome back to Face the Issues. Again, thank you for being here and for being willing to be so vulnerable about something that a lot of people walk through, but not a lot of people talk about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, let's jump in. We're going to pick up from where we left off last time. You told us a little bit about your dad's last time. We talked about what it was like to lose Dad, especially at those really integral ages. It's a little different for each of us. Mm-hmm. Give us an update on where you are today. What are you doing today? What has changed really since you've lost your dad? Kevin, we'll start with you this time.
Yeah. What has changed? It's interesting because as I mentioned last time, I had moved away to Massachusetts, so there was a distance between my family, at least geographically. And so my life was going on in a certain way, and God bless my family because they were front lines. They were, front row seats to my dad passing. But for me, it was kind of at a distance, and so I think I had a little bit more space to process things. But there was a moment, actually, I think because I was involved in ministry, that transformed the grieving process for me and the trajectory forward. I remember one day when the reality of my dad's going to pass soon, it hit me really hard, and I just needed to step aside from what I was doing. I went outside, I sat on a bench, and I was just praying about this and crying. And not audibly, but you know how God kind of impresses things on your heart. He kind of showed me my life just in a glimpse, and I felt like he was saying to me, because I was a youth pastor at the time, I felt like God was saying, Kevin, you minister to teens, you minister to your family, you minister to your wife, I will minister to you. And from that moment on, nothing could have been more true. There was a weight lifted off of me, moving forward and even facing that day when my father did pass, to know that Jesus' promise from Matthew 11:28 is true. Come to me, all you who are weary and heavy burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I'm gentle and humble at heart, and you will find rest for your souls. That was so true for my experience. And that moment when the Holy Spirit made that clear to me, moving forward was a lot different.
Katie brought up the analogy last time about the ocean, mm-hmm. and you're in the midst of this more than we are. Like, do you find, what do you make of that analogy? Are you finding that to be true in your life? Like, as the years go, like, how are you finding that process?
Yeah. My father was a very servant-hearted man, and it was very covert. Suddenly, he would have a meal for you that he'd send you away to college. Like, oh, you're going back to college this weekend? Here's like a pot of bean soup, that he would make. So in those things, I remember my dad most when suddenly those things aren't provided. It's like, for example, the traditions that he carried were definitely, he carried them. For example, like Christmas time, cookies every surface in the kitchen is covered with cookies, and he would just make, bake, and
my
you know,
goodness.
cookies all the time. So those chocolate chip cookies bring a lot of memories back
Yeah.
for me. But then also, there's a level of weight to what my dad carried for the culture of our family, the things that were crucial to who we are. It's interesting when that individual is gone, how some of those things, you either uphold them or you don't, and you realize, wow, it was dad who was upholding those things. So moving forward, it's kind of the challenge, like, okay, those values, those traditions, will I uphold them for my own life, for my family still?
Yeah.
So there's some responsibility to it.
Katie, what about you? It's been longer for you. Where's life taking you? Where are you now?
Yeah, I feel like I went through a lot of seasons without my dad, because losing him at 16 and now being almost 30, like a lot of life has happened. A lot of like big milestones happen in those years. I feel like for me it was like I graduated high school without him. I graduated college without him. I met my husband, who he'll never meet, and got married and had a baby, and a lot has happened. And so now today I'm a stay-at-home mom and hanging with my baby girl every day, and it's the best. But I think it has made me very aware of the passing of time and how quickly seasons can come and go. And there's pros and cons to that. I think sometimes I dwell too much on the passing of time, but a pro to that is it's made me very aware of, like, for example, with my toddler, like, she doesn't have the little baby roll anymore on her wrist. Like, but I cherished that while she had it. Like, I know that I really like soaked that up while it was here. I think it's made me very aware that tomorrow isn't guaranteed, because the way my dad died was just like he was there and gone in the blink of an eye. So that can be a little anxiety inducing if you go down a rabbit hole. But what's beautiful about it is it's made me very, like, I just cherish every day that I get with my family, and every day is such a gift, even the hard days. And so I'm just trying to take it one day at a time, and yeah, I'm loving this stage of life.
You talking about the time thing. I did this. I don't know if I'm just weird or if this resonates. After I lost my dad, I started, because I just turned 23, and so I started calculating in my mind, so my dad died at 59, so I started calculating in my mind, if my mother passes at 65, how old I would be, and how many years I would have left, right? And it was like, okay, if she lives the life expectancy, average life expectancy, how many years do I have left? And realizing it's not a lot. I don't know, am I the only one that does this?
No,
Did you play through your mind? Because it sounds awful, I do not mean it this way, but it's almost like two parents, I lost one and I was like, oh, there's no safety net anymore. Not that a parent's expendable, but it kind of suddenly hit me that was like, I'm down to one. I didn't grow up with grandparents. I had one grandparent when I was born, and she lived halfway around the world. And my dad's mother actually only passed 2 years before he did. But did you feel this? I don't know if you went through that, and if you didn't, I'm so sorry if it triggered it.
No.
Now you're gonna start thinking about it.
For me, it was thinking about the things that my dad had accomplished by the time he was my age. And wow, he was a better man than me, because maybe I'm a little behind the 8 ball on that one. For example, I'm having, in the next few weeks, my first child.
Congratulations.
Super excited. But my dad had 3 kids by the time he was my age. And it's like, wow, he handled so much. And what am I doing?
Well, if it makes you feel better, Alexander the Great conquered the modern world by the age of 30. And so he had that on your dad.
Yeah.
He also killed a lot of people, so I'm not sure that's where we want to go with that.
It's not the benchmark.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Yeah, I think I experienced some of that. I think for me, I am very blessed to have married into a really great family. And so I have an amazing father-in-law now. If you know him, you love him. And so it's been interesting for me. I know that probably I'll hit a point someday where I've spent more years with my father-in-law than my own father. And I think even we had my father-in-law's father, so my husband's grandfather, passed away a couple years ago. And being in that funeral, watching my father-in-law at his age be at his dad's funeral, it was this like reality check moment of like, that's how old I should have been at my dad's funeral. And instead I was 16. So I'm always doing these weird math things of like, oh, there will be a day where like I've spent more of my life with my father-in-law.
Yeah.
Which is such a gift and a blessing. I love my father-in-law, but it's just this weird reality that I live in now. Yeah.
Wow. Well, don't go away. We'll be right back.
Face the Issues is produced and recorded in the studios of Lighthouse TV. Positively different. Watch Lighthouse TV wherever you go. Available on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and Apple TV. You can view our in-house studio productions on demand, or watch what's on the station right now with our 24/7 live stream. Search Lighthouse TV online on your streaming device, or go to our website lighthousetv.org for more information. Lighthouse TV. Positively different.
Welcome back to Face the Issues. Let's pick up right where we left off. You mentioned that you're about to become a dad, and Katie, you're a mom. You're not a dad; you'll never be a dad, but you are a mom. And I know your husband super well. You have he's an incredible girl dad.
Yes.
I think he was nervous about being a girl dad at first.
Yeah.
But
He's really embraced it.
yeah, incredible girl dad. Kim, let me start with you. When as you come toward becoming a dad, how much of your dad plays into that? And I mean, obviously subconsciously, we know that, but consciously, how much does your dad and your relationship with your dad play into that?
Yeah, I think there's patterns that he modeled that I want to copy. Maybe there's some patterns that he didn't model that I would like to implement into my life. Like maybe things that, I'd like to try it this way with my kid, you know? So yeah, it's on my mind a lot. It's interesting. With my child being born soon, I almost feel resigned to my child's life now, in a lot of ways. And I wonder if my dad felt this way, because my dad gave everything for his family. I'm one of 6, and my dad didn't have his ambitions. He helped bolster up our ambitions. And I almost feel that way towards my kid. Like, okay, yes, I have ambitions and everything, but as my child comes into this world, I almost feel like, okay, I want to set him up. Like, that's my goal now, you know? Instead of, okay, I have these things, or not instead of, but alongside. So I wonder sometimes, like, did my dad have that drive, like feeling towards me, like I want him to succeed in this way, and so I'll give for him. I'll go without for him, because when I look at my dad's life, that's what he did. You know. So I wonder if that thought process went through his mind, because it's going through my mind right now. You know.
Do you ever wish you could ask him?
Yeah, I think so, for sure. Yeah. I don't know if he would give me a straight answer. He'd be like, oh, maybe. I don't know if he thought deep enough about it.
Fair enough. Katie, how about you as a parent?
Yeah, I think similarly, there's like things I don't want to do that my dad did, and there are things I do want to do. And it is interesting to be a parent now, and you know, because there will be times throughout life where maybe a really good friend who also knew my dad, I'll say something or, you know, make a joke in a way that they'll be like, oh, that was just like your dad, you know, and I'm like reflecting him in that way, which I always love to hear, because, you know, it's like he's still a piece of me this far removed. But it's been interesting now as a parent, I get to reflect him in a new way that I never got to before. And so when I'm like being silly in the kitchen, blasting music, goofing around with my daughter, like that's what my dad did with me. And those are some of my like happiest memories with him. And it's cool because it's not even something I'm like intentionally doing. Like, oh, I want to do this because my dad did this. But I'm just doing it because he's made me who I am. Yeah. And so it's been cool to like see those reflections come out. And you'll probably experience that too, where you're like, oh, that's just like what my dad did. And there'll be some things you don't like that you're like, oh, that's what my dad used to do, you know, like I didn't want to reflect that. But that's what our parents do to us, right?
Yeah.
So it has been really beautiful to watch
Yeah.
watch myself reflect him in a new way.
It's so interesting. It's an opposite thing for me. Obviously, I'm not a parent, but it's like an opposite thing for me.
Yeah.
My father, he was, like I said earlier, he was a well-known minister. He was involved in some scandal, and my parents' relationship was awful. Like, it just, I mean, they did not divorce, and that is all the credit to my mother. But it was, I mean, there was definitely moments growing up where you, as a kid, thought it would have been easier for us as children if they just divorced. And so I think it has kept, like my sister and me, I think it has kept us hesitant about relationships our whole life, hesitant about marriage, hesitant about parenting. And so I can't tell you how many times I've come to, whether in relationships or not, I've come to that thought of, I don't think I can parent. And hence it's just, you kind of pump pause on everything, right? But I think there's other sides of it, because when I travel and I meet people who knew my dad, and I don't advertise it, but I mean, I remember when he passed, I came back to grad school, and I've gone to the funeral, came back, and there's this older Chinese woman in my graduate program, or in my graduate class, and she comes up to me and says, "You never told me your dad was Reverend Chen." And I said, "Well, you knew my last name, and you knew he was a pastor. You kind of like,"
Connect the dots.
she was like, "But you didn't tell me she was Reverend David F. Chen." And I'm like, "You never asked." And so she started going on and on and on about how much of an impact he had in her life. And like, my sister was at seminary at the time, and this is back when my dad was alive, and he was in Texas, and so he came by to just visit her, and her friends found out who he was. Her Asian friends found out who he was, and they were all like, "Oh my goodness, can we meet your dad?" So like, there's just like long line of people. And so there's a sense for me is in watching, because I didn't get to travel with him. So he was in the house churches in China. He was traveling around the United States, South America, like, to get to then see those people and the impact he made. That's kind of the perspective I have to take and learn from. And so it's like a very different thing for me.
Yeah.
I'm super curious now. Like, it's been about 2.5, 3 years for you. I mean, it's been, you're near a dozen years, right? A little bit over 15 years for me this year. How did you take the next step? Like, how did you get to where you are now?
I think a lot of it came through filling in the gaps. And the need that my family had, because Dad's no longer there doing these things, saying these words, providing these things. And so I kind of actually saw my brother doing this in a unique way, and I was like, I need to follow that. My oldest brother, he
Where
would...
are you in these six?
I'm the third.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're smack in the middle.
Yeah. But my oldest brother in particular, I started to see where he stepped up and started to fill some of the roles that Dad had shown us. And that was really interesting. I was like, look at him step up, because he was a father at the time and has now 3 children. And so that was actually a really good example, I think, for me to then say, okay, well, where can I fill in the gap for my dad as far as a family life goes? And then, my own family is another aspect to that.
Yeah. Katie, how about you?
I think there's an element of it where you just kind of have to do the next thing. I mean, like, I had mentioned before, I was just in this place of shock when it first happened. And so in that time, it was an accomplishment if I brushed my teeth.
Yeah.
Like, you do what you can. And then I think I took like a month off from high school. So eventually I went back into school, doing homework again. Like, you just take the next step that you can at the time. And eventually now I'm like 13 years removed from it, and I'm a mom and I'm doing all these things. Like, you're just, all of a sudden you look back and you're like, okay, I made it out of there. Not like I've moved on or I'm not grieving, but it's like, okay, life did go on. And, but I struggle sometimes with, like, I don't know how people go through this without the hope of Christ.
Yeah.
I really don't, because for me, that was the only way I could move forward. It was the only thing I could cling to. And I learned really quickly that, kind of like you were mentioning of like, there's no safety net now. Oh, I can lose a parent?
Yeah.
Like, I learned like nothing's guaranteed in this life. The only guarantee I can cling to is the hope of salvation and the hope of eternity. And so that was like my daily like anchor, and the closest I feel like I've ever been to the Lord, just clinging to every word in my Bible that I was reading. And like, that was really the only way that I could move on with any ounce of hope, because even with Christ, that was a really, really dark time. Like, I think that's another thing people don't talk about. We think, oh, we have Jesus, so like we can just pray away our sadness and we're
Everything's
happy
rainbows and
now. Like,
unicorns.
no, that was a really, really dark time. Like, I think I might have actually been depressed. Like, I felt like nothing ahead of me would be beautiful again. But I knew that I had salvation. I knew I had the hope of Christ, and that's the only way I really could move forward.
I appreciate you stating that so articulately. Thank you. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Watch Lighthouse TV wherever you go. Available on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and Apple TV. You can view our in-house studio productions on demand, or watch what's on the station right now with our 24/7 live stream. Search Lighthouse TV online on your streaming device, or go to our website for more information. Visit lighthousetv.org to stay connected. There you can find out what's currently on the air and coming up, how to watch in your area on cable, satellite, broadcast, or streaming devices. Watch past programs or our live stream. Follow us on social media and learn more about the station, our hosts, and our programming. Lighthouse TV, positively different.
Welcome back to Face the Issues. Katie, I want to, as you're saying this during our break, and I want to pick up actually because I thought it's just such a beautiful thing you said. You were mentioning that there's just joy and a sorrow in that your dad is in heaven, and yet we still grieve this, right? Like a dozen years later, and everything you walk through without them. Can you articulate that a little bit? Like what is that like to both have that joy in that your dad's in heaven, but also like the joy in that you're now married, you're now a mom, and also have that sorrow with it?
Yeah. I think people in the Christian community will try to like encourage you after you lose someone who was also a believer, and be like, they're in heaven though, they're in such a better place. And it's like, yes, that's true, and I'm overjoyed by that. But also I want my dad here to see me graduate. Like, and so it's learning to hold those hand in hand. And I've learned that, through all the seasons I've gone through without him, I think, I actually had a friend tell me this once, and it was so true. Like, the bigger the joyful season, the bigger the sorrow is too. I don't know if, Kevin, you feel some of this now with soon welcoming a child into the world and your dad not being here. Like, that's such a beautiful thing to get to do.
Yeah.
But your dad's not here to see it. And that's kind of always like the shadow behind every joyful season. And so I think I've just learned that on this side of heaven, that's what life looks like. It's joy and sorrow always hand in hand. I find it hard to believe that you can ever experience something purely joyful this side of heaven without also feeling sorrow. Like, even thinking about salvation and how beautiful that is, there's the sorrow of, but we live in a broken world, and there's still sin, and there's still consequences for those sin, and we're living that out. And so I think it just makes me long for heaven, where there's going to be a day where we can experience just joy, and there's no sadness, there's no sin, there's no brokenness with it.
I feel like there's more hope in the message. Not that you're a Christian, you have hope, and so you don't need to feel sad. That's not very encouraging to me. I think it's more encouraging to say, you're going to go through trials. It's going to be hard, but you're not alone. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted, right? And so we're not alone when we're in sorrow.
The other thing I think I learned in this is before I lost my dad, you know, and this, I hate sympathy cards. And it's so, I used to get the super fancy ones, and now I get like the one, like I prefer it's blank inside because I've realized like there is nothing you can say to someone who's going through this. Like I don't remember a single word anyone said to me, and except those who told me to be strong, which I think is the absolute dumbest advice in the process, right? And the scriptures are like, no, like if you read the scriptures, it tells us that Christ is our strength.
Yeah.
Not us.
So we're not strong. He
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
And so, and I used to say to everybody, like I go to funerals, like, oh my goodness, you gotta be strong, right? The Bible doesn't say that.
Yeah.
And so I think that's one of the things for me that I picked up on. The other one is in the days after, the day my dad died, we got a call from the president of the Southern Baptist Convention. Like everybody was there. And then as the weeks and months go by, it's like nothing, and it's just us, right? Like, do you same experience?
Oh yeah, I think now being 13 years removed, there was one year where one person texted me, and it's just this weird thing because it's like on your birthday you get so many texts, like everybody knows it's your birthday, whatever. It's like such a special day, but this is like almost a bigger day for me than my birthday. Like this was a life-altering day in my life. And it's not that nobody remembers, but I've learned that I start putting people's dates in my calendar. When I find out someone's lost someone, it's in my calendar so that every year when that comes up, even if it's not on my radar, my calendar will remind me and I will be sure to text that person.
I get a text from Katie every year.
It's hard to feel like people remember, but it feels like they don't when you don't hear from them on such a huge day.
Do you think, look, none of us want to walk through this.
Yeah.
Do you think God has used it and enabled you to minister better, to be better, whether it's to your family or elsewhere?
Yeah, 100%. I felt through the 3 years of my dad dying that the Lord was very close to me. And it wasn't just his passing that I was going through. There were other things. My wife and I had just gotten married. We moved to Massachusetts. We're starting ministry. So there's a lot of life happening. And through all of that, God is faithful. And that's certainly what I found to be true.
Yeah, I think it's made me more sensitive to people who have lost someone. I think a lot of times, you kind of mentioned things that people say that aren't helpful. I think that actually makes people scared to say anything at all. And so sometimes they don't say anything or they don't step into that space or they want to. I had someone tell me recently, like, I feel like people want to look away from my grief because it's too hard to comprehend, but you make me feel like I can dance in it. And I think like it's just taught me to step into that space with people. And you don't have to, like you said, you don't have to have the words to say. There are no words to say that's going to make someone feel better. Yeah. Unless you can bring my dad back to life, like with me here, I don't think I'll feel better. So I've learned to just be present with people as they're grieving and like I mentioned before, like remember the dates and reach out. Yeah.
Kevin, Katie, thank you so much for joining this conversation.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. That is our show and our conversation. I want to thank Kevin and Katie for joining us and for being so vulnerable about something that's so hard and yet so many of us walk through. I want to thank each of you for tuning in. We hope to see you again right back here next week. Until then, my name is Sam Chen. On behalf of all of us at Face the Issues, thank you and good night.